All right, the Trump campaign yesterday sued the New York Times for libel over an op-ed about a Russia conspiracy. The president says doesn't end there.
When they get the opinion totally wrong, as the New York Times did, and frankly, they've got a lot wrong over the last number of years. So we'll see how let that work its way through the courts. If you read it, you'll see it's beyond an opinion. That's not an opinion. That's something much more than an opinion. They did a bad thing, and there'll be more coming.
The New York Times promising a long court battle.
Well, here to weigh in is Fox News senior judicial analyst and host of Liberty File on Fox Nation, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Hey,
Good
Judge.
morning. Good morning, guys. So there's a couple of principles here. First of all, opinion is protected. So the president's point is this is an opinion, is not an opinion. It was presented as fact. If it is an opinion, the case goes away because your opinion can be anything you want. The doctrine is called fair comment.
Even if the fact quoted in it in the New York Times is wrong?
Correct, because it is the opinion that he claims he's aggrieved by. Now, I said he claims. He's not the plaintiff. The plaintiff is the campaign. And under libel law here in New York, where they filed the complaint, a group can't be the plaintiff. Only an individual who's actually been harmed by the alleged defamation can be the plaintiff. Was the president harmed? I don't think he was harmed. This statement came out after he was already president. So it certainly didn't harm him when he was running for president, and it's not harming him now. But he has succeeded in ginning up his animosity with the Times and the scrutiny by other media of what the Times says about him.
So you're saying the campaign does not have standing?
Correct. Okay. And for that reason, I think it will be dismissed. It was actually, I think, a clever way to try and expand libel law, but I don't think it will succeed.
It was interesting. I heard the attorney, president's attorney, talking about this, or the man who's suing, and he said they wrote this editorial with information in there that the New York Times in previous articles had already debunked.
Had refuted, yeah. So this came out after Attorney General Barr's summary of Bob Mueller's report.
Right before the report itself was released.
Correct. So the author of this was unaware of all the findings that that Mueller had. I really think this is in the opinion category. I understand the president's animosity, but he's going to have to sue personally, which I don't think he wants to do as the sitting president.
Well, we heard the president last night during his press conference say we'll see it work through the courts. Meanwhile, yesterday the administration got a big win in the Second Circuit Court of Appeals, where they said the administration was right to say to sanctuary cities, if you do not follow sanctuary policies, we're not going to give you money. A bunch of states sued, and now the courts say the administration has the opportunity to say no dough for you.
This has been looked at by 5 federal appellate courts. There are 12 in the country. 4 of them have said the administration can't add a new condition to the recipient of funds that wasn't there when the funds were authorized. The Second Circuit, which governs New York, said the opposite yesterday. Because this goes to the ability of the federal government to enforce its own laws, if the feds want to hold back money until they can be satisfied as to how that money is being used and make sure it's not being used against the enforcement of federal laws, they can. Bottom line, because you have 4 circuit courts going one way and 1 going the other way, this is absolutely ginned up for the Supreme Court. When will this come down? If it gets to the Supreme Court,
I was surprised.
Close to election
I
day.
was surprised that this New York court voted in favor of the president. Tell us about this court.
I was surprised as well. I mean, this is the most prestigious. My friends in the D.C. Circuit are not going to want to hear this. This is the most prestigious federal appellate court in the country because it is New York. I was stunned at the way it went.
How does the Supreme Court come out if it goes to that level?
Prediction, 5-4 in favor of the president.
Well, it's interesting.
But this has never been resolved at the Supreme Court level, Pete, as you know, which is why we have these intermediate appellate courts going in different directions.
And then if the Supreme Court ruling comes out just before the election, it's going to inflame both sides.
Absolutely. You know, the concept of sanctuary cities is sacrosanct to the Democrats and anathema to the administration.
But if you don't follow federal law, should you get federal money? I mean, it seems pretty cut and dry.
So the rule always has been, if there's going to be a condition on the money, the condition has to be stated at the outset. It can't be added afterwards. That's the way those 4 other circuit courts went. The one in New York said, yeah, you can add that condition because it goes to the core reason for which the money is being spent, law enforcement.
You're the first person who's ever used the words anathema and what was the other one?
Sacrosanct.
Even the same sentence on this program in 20-some years.
You know why? I was just talking to Hegseth. These are Princeton words.